Hey, what's up, guys? So in this video, I wanted to show you 5 creative ways that you can use AI for your cold emails. So the first one is coming up with creative ideas, and I'll show you step by step like what this looks like in Clay. Next one is target ICP, AI agents, how to actually use those, the types of businesses that you could use it for, and then opening line based on job roles. So first, let's start with going into Clay. And then once we're in Clay, we will make sure the first thing that you always need to do is make sure that you have so whatever data the AI is reading or analyzing, you need to make sure that that's mapped out in Clay. So in this case, we're going to be taking a lot of that information from the LinkedIn description. So we've got the LinkedIn description here, and then we'll be pulling. So we'll be basically telling AI to analyze this. All right, so make sure you've got that to start off with. This is just a list of some marketing agencies in Australia, just as an example. So this is the first step. The second step is to go over to enrich data, then click on AI. Once we clicked on AI, then we go use AI, and then we're going to go over to write the prompt. Now, I've actually already got the prompt here, but I'm just going to copy paste this and I'll read it out in just a second and what it says. So based on the input, so the input is basically mapping it to the column that you want it to read, essentially. So description in this case. Output 3 creative ideas. Don't know why it says that there. 3 creative ideas for Google Ads in bullet point format that this company could use to improve their Google AdWords campaigns. This could be keyword suggestions, creative copy, or title suggestions, etc., etc. Could improve their click-through rate, etc. Cool. So with something like this, you want to be creative basically. We normally use this in the second email, so in the follow-up email in a sequence. And instead of just sending someone and saying, "Hey, I had some ideas for you around that could improve your Google Ads," or whatever it is, you actually send them the ideas. Now you can be again very creative with the ways that you use this. You could use it for Google Ads, you could use it for content, you could use it for copy titles that you could send them. You could use it for outbound ideas. We actually use that as well, and for our campaigns. Yeah, you could use it with all sorts of different things. It doesn't have to just be for like marketing stuff. It could be for it could be recruiting ideas. It could be all sorts of different things. You have to get creative with it. So you can kind of like fill in the blank, but this is just an example for using Google Ads. So only for marketing agents, we could go for like marketing agencies. It doesn't really make too much sense because it's marketing agencies, Google Ads, marketing agencies running Google Ads for themselves, but it can still work. And then so once you've got that there, this would be the prompt. You can go over to settings, and then you can click on. I would recommend doing GPT-4 if you're doing like a lower volume. If you're doing a higher volume, probably GPT 3.5. But GPT-4 Turbo is a lot quicker. And then what you want to do is just have a look try on 5 rows, just to obviously not have it cost you anything. I won't actually run it because I don't want to burn through my credits. But you can kind of get a sense for what it would actually look like in the first 5. So I'll just wait for this to load. So basically, this is giving them ideas for copy, titles, etc. And the great thing about this is you're able to actually see you're basically able to personalize it. So again, I mentioned you're not just saying, "Hey, I had some ideas for you. Can I send them across?" and then writing the ideas. You're actually giving them ideas up front. And this could be, you could do it for like copy for a Facebook ad. You could do it like the title or the headline or anything like that. And what it does is just shows them that you've taken time to actually research their business and see what it actually looks like. And that is way more likely to get a good positive response. We've never actually had a negative response from this. People have only been positive about us sending this across, and we've been able to book in meetings because of it. And it doesn't even take very much time. Like you can see, literally just get the description enriched on Clay, and then after that, put this prompt in, and it'll run out with ideas. You can just go through it and QC and just make sure that nothing's being said that's like ridiculous or anything. And then once you've got that, then you can stick it in your sending tool. This one's a little bit long. We want it a bit shorter, so sometimes you have to play around with it and just be like, hey, no more than X amount of words and everything like that. But once you're happy with that, then you would obviously just run it. And the email might look like, hey, not sure if you're running Google Ads, or saw that you're running Google Ads if you've segmented the list. Here's a couple of like copy ideas or keyword ideas that you could use. And then 1, 2, 3, and then happy to share more if you're interested. And then we've only had positive responses of people saying thank you so much for like actually taking the time to research my business. We get so many of these. It's just a really good way of standing out, and a really simple way of doing it. So that's one. And again, you can get creative, use it for literally think of ideas for it, of different angles that you could use, but it's like, here's 3 ideas that you could give to the company that you're reaching out to. So that's the first one that I wanted to run through. I'm just going to not save that. The second one that I want to go through is the target ICP. So this is particularly useful if you're an outbound agency like we are. You can go over to, again, enrich data, go on AI. So this is one of the ways that we reach out to prospects and we say, hey, I saw that you were targeting XYZ. I saw that you sell to this persona. Now this is the job titles that they sell to, but it could also be that you change the prompting around to, name the companies that they sell to. And if you wanted to take it a step further, you could then find some of those companies that it sells to and then say, hey, do you target these kinds of companies? That would be like next level. That'd be pretty cool, actually. That's just giving me an idea. But yeah, so if you actually just come over to the prompt, it's one of the prompts, find ICP job title from company description, and then go over to description and then run that. And then again, same thing, go settings. If you want the best result, GPT-4, but if you want like okay ones, but keep it more cost effective, then GPT 3.5. Or you can just use your own credits, Clay credits. But you can use your own OpenAI key, or you can use Clay credits. I'm just going to pause it whilst we wait for that. It wasn't too long. So we have here marketing managers, business owners, and brand managers, social media managers, marketing directors, business owners, things like that. And what it's saying, determine the job title or type of customer that this company usually sells to using the input and guide for what they do. And then it's the input. What I normally do is I also lowercase this, and then between here and here, I don't put a comma, I put and, like an ampersand. So it just looks a little bit more natural, and it's not like marketing managers, comma, business owners, comma, brand managers. It just looks more like you've actually written it. Or you can do 2 and tell it to remove 1. So that you target marketing managers and brand owners or brand managers. It looks pretty much like a human would write it. So you want to make it look as human as possible, but this is a really cool way of using AI to say, I can see that you do this thing, right? And it's another way of getting an observation. Then you can tie that into the rest of the email, right? So yeah, another idea for you guys. Very simple. Use the prompts, use the templates. Super simple and easy to do. And then we'd obviously run that, but I'm not going to. Another very cool way, AI agent and research. So I did another video on how you can do this, but I'm just going to give you another quick example. So again, go over to AI, go on to Clayagent, and then we would tell it to go and visit, like you can see here, the kind of like pre-loaded text is visit this company website, navigate to the pricing page, find the price of their most expensive plan, what is unique about them, etc., etc. So one cool thing that you could do here, and I made another video on this, but one example use case of this is, I don't know, if you're targeting technology companies and you look for when they, release new updates, or you look for new features that they might have, or anything like that, right? That is very difficult information to scrape from their website, or is difficult information to actually find online or to scrape in general, unless you find it manually. This is probably where Clayagent or the AI web scraper is best for. So an example could be like case studies. So you could go through and find the case studies that they have on their website. The accuracy isn't always 100%, but it's pretty good. So you could say, hey, saw that you worked with, I don't know, and they might have in the, brands that trust us or testimonials or something, they might have a section that says, we work with these kinds of companies. And you can say, hey, I saw you work with this. Would you be interested if we got you more clients like this, type of thing, right? Obviously, it's not exactly what you'd write, but just off the top of my head, that's one way that you could use it. And again, you just got to be creative with, like, think of the ideas that you could do that, find different ways that you could reach out to this business that are creative. And Clayagent allows you to basically do that, or AI agents allow you to do that. And they basically allow you to feed it like the link, and then it will go onto the link. So you don't even need like to have scraped it first. It's kind of like a specific scraper, if that makes sense. So instead of just scraping the whole web page, it'll scrape, but only the specific part you actually look for, which is pretty cool. And then you could link it with AI, so you can then tell AI to analyze that the same way that we told it to analyze like LinkedIn. So that's how you do it. I'm not going to give you like an example because I have another video on that, but those are 2 just sort of off the fly. But you can use sort of like a structure like this, and I think they actually have. Oh, it's pretty cool. They have templates here. AI agent, find case studies. Yeah, here you go. So they've even got a template for this, which is pretty cool, actually. I'm going to see what this looks like. Website, domain, let's see that, please template. Save and run first 10 rows. Let's see, I'm just going to test it out, actually, and see what it comes up with. Model. Just do 3.5 so it doesn't cost me anything. I'm just going to leave that, and then save and run first 10 rows and just see what it looks like and see what it actually comes out with. Let's just pause this. All right, cool. So you can see here that it's pulled some case studies, some it hasn't, so no case studies found. But let's just have a look through and see what the validity of these are. So it's actually got a few. Australian Institute of Cadet Management, Engage House Interactive, Caring Australia. Let's have a look, and if we go on to the website and see what it actually comes up with. Here we go. Yep, Australian Institute of Credit Management. That's pretty cool. So she found that. In-house interactive. Just say that. In-house interactive. Yeah, Caring Australia, Hair Growth. Yep, Caring Australia, Hair Growth Center. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you can see that it's literally pulled out the case studies from this company's website. The only other way that you would be able to find this is if you were literally to do it manually. So it saves an incredible amount of time. There's just one use case. And if you browse the templates as well, and we go back onto the templates, edit, browse templates, get time spent in a company, find case study, requirements for a job, find business phone number, email address. So a lot of this could be actually very useful for local businesses, because a lot of the times they don't necessarily have that information plastered everywhere. So you could actually find more mobile numbers like that, which would be really cool. Mobiles, phone number, contact numbers, email addresses, things like that. So yeah, very, very cool way of doing some more research at scale. And this is just a couple of examples, but there's so many more things that you could do with it. Again, not always perfect, but it at least gives you an indication of what you can do and how much you can leverage it. Cool. So there's that one, and then the type of business / niche. So if I go to enrich data and I go back to AI, use AI prompts. So let me see. Type of agency. So this could be. I've got a couple of templates here for them, but this could be let's just say you've got a large list of software companies. Why does this thing just stop recording? Okay, so let's just say you've got a large list of software companies, and I'm not sure where I cut off, but I was just running through the types of businesses / niche. So let's say you've got a large list of software companies, or you've got a large list of marketing agencies, and you want to say in your emails we help, and then be specific about the marketing agencies that you work with. And instead of segmenting the list to 5-10 different ways, where you might have one segment that's PPC agencies, one that's SEO agencies, one's content agencies, etc. You don't need to segment it. You have one big list, and then you can basically include that variable of the types of businesses that you work with. So, again, let's say you have a big list of SaaS companies, software companies, and you want to say we've worked with fintech companies when it gets to a fintech company, or HR tech when it's an HR tech company. It's going to make the outreach more specific to them, rather than just saying we help software companies. That's super broad. But if you make it more specific and say, hey, we help, I don't know, Web3 development companies or something, right? And it's really specific in what you're saying, without having to segment the list at a higher level. You can actually just have a big list and then have the personalization. It works really nicely. So in this case, let's do type of marketing agency. And again, we'll just go and use the description on LinkedIn. Use template. Again, I'm just going to run run GPT-4 Turbo and just pause it for a second. Right, so here are the results. The first one, I'm not sure what this is. So again, you need to go through and just double check that the prompt is good. I haven't used this prompt actually in a little while, so it might be worth going into it and just double checking. Then social, digital creative content, digital marketing. So these are okay. They could be better. And I think actually the way to get them better is to write a better prompt. I haven't used this again for a couple of weeks or a little while, so could definitely do with updating it. But you get the picture here. So instead of just saying, hey, we work with marketing agencies and keeping it super broad, you could say we work with creative content agencies, or if it's like an SEO agency, we work with SEO agencies, right? And then obviously you could add agencies in, but I think I've actually removed it. Do not include the word agencies in the output because I think I have it in the rest of the like email. So this would be the variable that you stick in, basically. So yeah, that's another idea. And it can just make your outreach a bit more specific. If you're saying like we help these types of companies, instead of keeping it really broad, you can make it specific. We help, you know, digital marketing and SEO agencies, or we help content creation agencies, or we help full service agencies. And it just makes it specific to that business that you're reaching out to, rather than just saying we work with agencies. And it can work across multiple different industries. So that is the fourth one. And then the final one is opening lines based on job role. So let's go back. So don't save. And we can go use AI, go on to browse templates. Let's have a look and see where this is. Open role. Okay. Actually, wait, hold on one sec. Okay, I had to set up a new table. I just realized. But so let's just say we've got a table of open job roles. What we're going to do with this is we're going to find out and basically infer why a company is hiring for that role, and then basically create a personalized first line based on that. So what we need here is we need the company description. So that would be the first thing, and then the job title. So this would be the like thing that they're advertising for. So I've just put here as sales development representative, just as like an outline. And we go over two settings again, and then we would try it on GPT-4, just kind of test. I've only got one example just to show you. But let's just give it a second to load. Okay, this is very interesting because it's come out on the site here. In my experience, it's obviously way too long. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put keep your output to less than 15 words. 15 words is usually like a sweet spot. Let's try that again. Okay, cool. So you can see here for the first one, saw on your website that you're hiring for sales development representative. In my experience, companies hire for this role to efficiently expand their client base. Right, so these here aren't the best, I would say. In my experience, companies hire for this role to effectively build and nurture sales pipeline. So these aren't the best. These are kind of generic in a certain extent. So what you'd want to do here in this case is go through the prompt and just double check and refine it. Obviously, this is a template, so it's a starting point. You can then build off of it and refine it a lot more. So I would probably in this line mention something more than just that they're hiring this. You could also mention, you can pull like the job description as well. That might be another thing that you could do to kind of improve what this looks like. And then when it says, in my experience, companies hire for this role, I wouldn't necessarily actually have that. I would prefer to have another line saying, hey, I saw you're hiring for a sales development rep. And then probably just go into the next line. Or you could even like expand that out and say, hey, I saw you're hiring for this. I know that you've got, 3 on your team at the moment, and you're looking to expand to the fourth one. Something along those lines. You want to maybe just make it a little bit more in depth than just you're hiring a sales rep, but that can also work as well. I just wanted to give you another idea of something else that you could use where if you've got a job role and then how you can use AI to basically infer information from that job role or job title. You can also tell it to look at the description, the job description and things like that. But there are a million and one things that you could do. But I just wanted to give you like an insight. So this one doesn't work as well with what we've got right now, but of course, play around with the prompt. It's just a template. This is just a template. Play around with the prompt. Yeah, I hope this video has been useful. As always, if it has been, then like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And if you're interested in learning more about what we do, you can click the link in the description and book a call with us. And we obviously help with done for you outbound services. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. Peace.